Hey guys, what's up? Stock Retail coming back to you. Just had kind of something I wanted to share and kind of get off my chest or share from my heart tonight. And so this is a little bit of a zag. This is not a DD video, but just something on my mind that I wanted to share with you guys. And I think this matters. And frankly, this is not just about stocks. We come up against a lot of things online, a lot of distortion and manipulation and bullying tactics even. And it's pretty ugly and it's disgusting, quite frankly. It's not the culture that I want to see in the world. I'm sure it's not the culture many of you want to see in the world. And so there's a reason some of us have perhaps stiffened our backs and said, I'm standing up against this because enough of all of this. And so tonight I ran into one of those things. Because I'm out there, I have, videos here on YouTube. I have a lot of posts on X. From time to time they come after me. It was a lot worse in 2021 in particular, but over time they saw they couldn't sort of budge me off the corner, and I blocked enough of them and kind of dealt with them and spanked a few too. And I think they develop a profile on you. They try to see how to come at you. But actually, that's a little bit what I want to talk about. So you might remember like Back to the Future, if you've seen those. Biff is always pushing Marty's button and calling him chicken and gets him to do make some really, really bad decisions by pushing his buttons. And so I want to talk to you about being manipulated. And also because I think this, I think this applies in real life too. Like I said, this goes beyond stocks. And so I want you to just spot patterns. And here's just some thoughts that are on my mind and heart about how a controlling manipulator works. I've come through some things in life, as many of you have, and one of the things when you see dysfunction in your life, you learn to spot it quickly. Thankfully, I grew to be on some positive paths. I had some help in my life and worked hard in my life too, and so I can tell all those stories someday. But I think many of you, it will just resonate that if you've seen, let's say, crap in your life, that you know how to spot the crap fast. But for all of you, because you get pushed around in life, I just want to maybe hand you a couple of tools in the tool belt today. If this video is not for you, that's fine, but there's somebody out there who needs to hear this. And so I want to just talk to you about how controlling manipulators work in your life, because you probably have these people around you, chances are. So the first thing is, if you have someone who places demands on you, and guys, I want to be really careful here. I'm not talking about a loved one who maybe just doesn't treat you perfectly one day. I'm talking about time and again, patterns of behavior. This is the sort of way that they engage with you. And so what they'll do is they'll place demands. And I'm going to show you in a minute somebody who did this to me today online and tried to bully me, and it's just not going to work. In fact, rather than it not working, I would like to flip it and share some positive tactics with you guys. So they'll place demands on you. They'll set up the rules of the game and sort of force this binary choice. So that's the other thing, guys. A psychological manipulator. And what have we felt that Hedgie has? Psychology teams that are out there trying to help coach them on how to manipulate us. A psychological manipulator will set up a false choice for you. You must choose A or B. Guys, there's often C, D, E, F, and G. There's all kinds of options for you. So they'll set up the rules of a game and decide how that your conversation is going to work. And they'll force this A or B, this binary choice on you, kind of an if-then statement. So if you heard these, like, if you don't do blah, 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 then you are blah, blah, blah. Like, if you don't do what I want right now, then you're a terrible person. If you don't answer me now, then you're just a wimp. Think back to this, the chicken thing, right? Marty's not a chicken if he, doesn't take demands from these guys. He doesn't have to obey their every order. That doesn't make him, in fact, it makes him brave if he doesn't obey them, right? But you set up this binary choice. You obey what I'm saying right now, this demand I've placed on you, or you are some negative thing. Right? So just spot those patterns of behavior. And they'll attack, what you care about, or they'll attack maybe sensitive areas for you. Back to this, right? It's a sensitive area for him. He's afraid of being called a chicken, which oddly, there's a fear there he's got to work on. But they'll attack that. They'll find your buttons and they'll push him. And so I often have said on Twitter, I used to talk about this a lot more in 2021 because I got attacked a lot more. So I wanted to give other people the tools of how to sort of fight back. If you don't give them your buttons, they can't push them, right? But these guys are pros and they'll find them. And so, oh, you're to this or you're so that, or, maybe, again, if you don't do what I say right now, then you're a terrible human. And so they'll find what you care about. They'll find sensitive sort of button points and they'll push on them. they will demean you. They will impugn your character. Big word there. They'll tear you down. They'll belittle. They'll attack. Right? So if they don't get what they want, they'll start getting real negative until you kind of cave. And they won't offer you any path to some kind of shared understanding. It's just their way or the highway. Back to that sort of binary choice. It's you do it their way or you're terrible and you're afraid and you're too wimpy and whatever. Okay, so let me just show you kind of what I saw today. So Franklin somebody, I see this comment on frankly, it's just like I think it was just a forecast video I had on YouTube. And it says everything about content creators' character when they block people. So here's the tip. Remember I said they'll attack what's important to you? Yeah, my character matters to me. That's something that I have, I suppose, hung my hat on. I have been the same person for 4 years. That you've watched me online, on X, formerly Twitter. I've been on Reddit. I've been on YouTube. One of the reasons that some of you have expressed to me that you follow me is because I've been a stand-up person. That really is who I am. That's something I care about. And so they found something, if I poke at this, I can hurt him. I found something he cares about and I can hurt him. So, hey, so here's that binary choice too, right? If you block anybody, you have bad character. So I'm going to offer a third option here in a minute because I don't agree to that choice. I don't agree that somehow I can only never block anybody or I have bad character. But that's what they're setting up here. Shows you have no true conviction. There's the chicken thing, right? So again, binary. You either let me come on your channel and say anything I want to say, or you don't have any conviction. See that if then, if or, you kind of, you're this if you don't do what I want. And you're admitting that you're spreading lies and information. So again, he wants me to be afraid, he or she, whoever this is, run in fear because if you don't do what I say, then you're all these terrible things. And look, guys, nobody has to worry about me on this one. This is so obviously just ridiculous. You're going to even see in my response. This one doesn't bother me. In fact, by the end, they actually had me laughing. Literally, I was laughing. My wife was like, what are you doing? And I had to kind of explain to her. So don't worry about me. But this is bigger than stocks. I know that many of you face this in your lives. And I had to overcome this with some people in my life. And so I just want you to spot the pattern, and I want you to spot it online because that's what these guys are doing to you in our stocks, and you're dealing with it in real life. And so if you start to spot it, you start to go, you know what, I don't have to sit here and argue with these people all day long and let them do their thing. So clearly this must have been somebody that I had blocked in the past, and here's probably why. So my first response to them, and here's one thing for me, often even if my gut says this is not a good person, I'll be careful at first because one of the things I'm kind of concerned about, and so here I'm going to give them a button. They'll probably hit me on this one. I don't want to accidentally be too hard on someone who maybe they were just wrong and are not a shill, right? There's good meaning people out there who are not shills. So I tell them, hey, you know what? I block bots and shills all the time because they spread negativity. I don't know if you mean me here, but just so you know, my policy is if someone wants to disagree with me using facts, hey, that's cool. But if they come on my channel or on my timeline, because I know this happens on X all the time, just to spread negative sentiment, then they get the boot and can go do that nonsense elsewhere. So here's what you do with manipulators. You draw a firm boundary. If someone can respect your boundary, they're not a manipulator. If this person replies here and says, oh, you know what, I gotcha. Hey, I got a problem with blah, blah, blah. Can we talk about it, please? Okay, that's not a manipulator. But this person cannot respect my boundary and then escalates. That is what the narcissist does. If you won't do it by their rules, they're going to blow things up. So they come back, you just proved my point. If you had any real conviction, then negative comments wouldn't bother you. Now, look at the invitation here. Disagree using facts. They don't come back with any facts. You're just sensitive. So what did I say? Let's go back here. You're too, right? Okay, you're too sensitive. It just proves you can't, you can only be in an echo chamber. Guys, we've been 4 years of having, mainstream articles and online people and everybody attacking us. I don't know what echo chamber we're talking about here. I'm facing antagonism every day for 4 years. This movement is not for the faint of heart. So you're misleading. I don't know what I've misled anybody on. You're no different than the rest of the AMC YouTubers. That's been something people want to tag on me for a long time. Call me a YouTuber, all that stuff. Whatever. Karma will come knocking. Sure. you can block me because you've proven that you have no character. So here is the character assassination, the you don't do it my way, so therefore you're a terrible human. Have you seen this in real life? I hope a lot of you, actually, I don't hope, because frankly, I hope some of you don't even know what I'm talking about because you have nothing but wonderful people around you. But some of you I know are nodding your head and going, wait a sec. We're talking about AMC here, but I have seen this. I have been talked to this way. I have been treated this way. And let's go back to the beginning of this. Actually, I had a title there that I don't have anymore. Listen, you are worthy of respect. And it starts with treating yourself with respect. And the next step from that is you demand respect of others. When you respect yourself, you start deciding, I'm not letting other people treat me with disrespect. So, for me, there's the broader topic of I know I'm a little bit bigger account. I don't, not huge or anything, but bigger than some. And so people like to come on my comment feeds and spread all kinds of negativity. And I've told you guys, there's sentiment swaying. Go back and look. I've got a whole video on how the manipulators do their thing. That's probably from, I'm going to say March or April. I'm not too sure. And they are paid influencers in some cases. In some cases, it's just people full of hate online. Here's the thing, though. You don't have to let them come in your space and in your face and make demands on you. I don't know who Franklin is. Probably their name's not even Franklin either. I don't have to let them come and make all kinds of demands on me. I just don't. If they want to come and engage with me in respect, then fine. But otherwise, I'm drawing a boundary and they couldn't respect it, so they're gone. I've since removed them from my channel. So you guys can decide, whether I have character and whether 4 years have shown who I am or not. Apparently, Franklin says no. I'm just laughing because, I think you guys know the answer. But here's how to flip it. So I want to just give you guys a few, suggestions, things you might start saying to people like this. So first of all, to Franklin and to anybody making the demands on you like that, look at this first line I'm giving you. Your bad behavior isn't my call to action. Listen, there's nothing here where Franklin is talking to me with any matter of respect, placing demands on me, telling me how things have to be, and if I don't do it their way, here's all the things it says about me. The temptation, right? The temptation is you have this fight or flight response. Literally, your blood pressure goes up, your heart rate speeds up, your eyes dilate. It's doing these bad things to you physically. I want you also to feel that, guys. Feel the physical response and go, wait, something's not good here. I don't want to feel this way. So if you have that response, that's your first red flag that you're not being treated well. Why is your body going into fight or flight, which is like when cavemen had to run away from saber-toothed tigers? That's what we're talking about here. And your body's responding that way. That's your sign that something isn't right. And so, Franklin wants me to have the fight or flight response and then just go into full on so the fight would be completely defend myself, prove my honor. And that's not going to work with someone like that, right? They're not here to listen to you and go, oh, you know what? Actually, you're right. You are a good person. So all I'd say to that person is, I don't really feel like defending myself to you. Your bad behavior isn't my call to action. No thanks. Just say no thanks. Practice no thanks. That's all that is. And watch them just blow up. Narcissists cannot take no for an answer. Never let someone else's behavior change who you are, right? So, and guys, that's hard. There's plenty of times where I've responded too grouchy online, and that's not typically who I am in real life. People hit your buttons. It does happen, even to me. But just work really hard on knowing at the center who you are. And if someone else is engaging in a way that would make you not be you, then that's another red flag that says this is not someone who needs to be in my circle. Demands, negativity, personal attacks, another red flag, right? Franklin isn't coming to me with, hey, I got a question. Why do you block people? Could we talk about this? It's just straight off the bat demands, telling me I've got bad character, personal attacks, all that stuff. And again, don't worry about me. I want you guys to spot this in your real life. Boundaries are your friend. Hey, you're giving me rules of engagement. You're telling me how I'm allowed to talk, when I'm allowed to talk, what it means about me if I don't do it your way. You know what? Here's my rules. And you can respect those or you can kind of see yourself out the door. So I showed Franklin the door today. Didn't want to respect my rules on how I wanted to engage. At the end of the day, yes, we're online, but, a free platform goes both ways. And you know what, guys? Character is not proved by words or by one moment. It's patterns of behavior over time. There's a reason if you were to follow my X account, you'd see for years, I've talked about the phrase consistency over time. That cannot be faked. It's how we've spotted a lot of the shills, guys. Like, if someone can't stay the same over time and you start watching there's inconsistencies in their behavior, then you know something is fake there. By the way, that's the same for politicians. If they're not the same from one moment to the next, and from one environment to the next, and with one people group to the next, that's inconsistent. There's something weird here. Look for consistency over time because that can't be faked. In the end, you guys all know we will win. Today, I'd normally finish with let's go, but what I just want to say is you are worthy of respect.